We're back with Alden Chodash of AldenBoxing.com. This past Saturday, Alden, on Showtime in England, David Haye blows out Enzo Maccarinelli in 2 rounds. Haye says now he's going to move up to heavyweight and clean up the division. Do you believe him?
I think he has the perfect build to be a threatening heavyweight. First of all, he's would definitely be very quick for that weight, which would give him a great advantage over the average heavyweight. He's not too small. He's a deceptively tall cruiserweight, and that would help him in the heavyweight ranks. Plus, he's been really killing himself to make the cruiserweight, so maybe his legs would prove to be sturdier at the heavier weight divisions, where they definitely need to be with the kind of punches he would be taking. Maybe that would eliminate that suspect chin that has shown up in his days as a cruiserweight. He definitely can knock out a heavyweight. He's shown that in his only heavyweight fight versus Thomas Bonine a year ago, and I think he can knock out even better heavyweights, more elite heavyweights, if they gave him the chance.
Do you think if he stepped up and fought Sam Peter right now, he'd have a shot?
I think he'd need to condition himself against C-class heavyweights, more mediocre heavyweights than a Sam Peter, to build himself up, to condition himself against lighter punching heavyweights or lesser skilled heavyweights before he takes the big step up and takes on the biggest punching and most skilled heavyweights in the division. I don't think he's ready to take a huge step up right away, so I think definitely he shouldn't take that kind of step up.
So from what you've seen, bottom line, you think he's got the goods, though?
Yeah, he's definitely would pose as a very skilled heavyweight and a problem for a lot of fighters.
Okay, Sam Peter versus Oleg Maskaev on HBO on Saturday. Rate Peter's performance.
I was impressed by him. He had some flaws. His defense is never going to be elite in the heavyweight division, but he showed a good, solid offense and a better defense than I'm accustomed to seeing for Sam Peter. I was impressed by Maskaev, to tell you the truth, for the first 5 rounds. I just don't think he's young enough to really keep that kind of pace throughout the course of 12 rounds. I think fatigue really set in, plus Sam Peter's big punching power. But Sam Peter showed the complete package, as he has against James Toney in the rematch. And it was a great knockout.
Okay.
It's the kind that we haven't seen from Sam Peter in a while, really.
Right. And Sam Peter, first of all, do you think Sam Peter ever would have beaten Vitaly Klitschko?
I definitely think he could beat him right now.
Right now, but whatever.
Well, Vitaly Klitschko is a huge puncher, but really when his chin has been tested, it's not always... he's not always passed that test with flying colors. He was rocked badly by Corey Sanders, and I think Sam Peter's a bigger puncher than Corey Sanders. But then again, Corey Sanders is really sneaky with his punches, and Vitaly didn't see the shot that hurt him badly in the first round. But Sam Peter would have a puncher's chance against him, as he would against a lot of fighters.
What about Vladimir?
Vladimir Klitschko, he almost knocked Klitschko out. On both fighters, to both their credit, were a lot less developed as they are right now. Far better fighters right now than they were a couple years ago. So I think it'd be a couple years better.
So, but does Sam Peter turn the tables on Vladimir if they do it again?
I don't know. I think I'd give him a better shot in a rematch than I would in the first fight. I think Peter improved significantly more than Vladimir Klitschko has. I think Klitschko just learned how to pace himself better, and Klitschko learned a whole new series of skills via experience against savvy fighters like Jamil McCline and especially James Toney.
Okay, how would Peter beat him this time?
I think Peter would fight a more relaxed fight. He wore himself out in the first fight by uncreative offense. He was swinging wild shots. Now he could make Klitschko respect his jab and a couple other new shots that he added to his arsenal.
Okay, just briefly before we get to this weekend's main event, Nate Campbell, what do you think of his victory over Juan Diaz?
I was shocked. I didn't think he could keep up pace like that through 12 rounds. I didn't even think he was going to try to match Juan Diaz's pace, but he did both of them, and he did it in great fashion, really. It was a spectacular victory. It was unexpected, to say the least, especially against the opposition he faced in Juan Diaz, who can break anyone down, or at least that's what I thought before he stepped in against Nate Campbell.
Okay, let's run down this Saturday's pay-per-view card. Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez 2. You like Marquez, don't you?
Yeah, I like Marquez, but you can never count Pacquiao out, not only because of his punching power, because of the momentum he brings when he begins to land punches. He has a huge fan base, and the momentum shifts in his favor when he lands a couple punches. He starts to unload on you, and Juan Manuel Marquez was befuddled by that kind of blitzing attack that Manny Pacquiao has.
But after the first round, he seemed to figure him out.
He figured him out, but Manny Pacquiao may have won enough of the latter rounds, at least on one judge's scorecard plus Harold Letterman, to pull out the first fight. And to tell you the truth, the first fight really probably shouldn't have been a draw. One of the judges incorrectly scored the first round 10-7 in a round that should have correctly been scored 10-6.
Okay, so but why do you think Marquez is going to win this time?
I think Pacquiao is not as hungry as he was in the first fight. He was fighting his way up into the fighter that he is today, and I think he has reached his peak already, and Marquez is still fighting for that recognition of being one of the best fighters in the world today, and probably one of the most popular fighters in the world today. I mean, most boxing experts already regard him as one of the best fighters, and I think he has the all-around skills to beat Pacquiao.
Do you think he could stop him?
I think he has great power, Marquez. More power than a lot of guys give him credit for. He's a really strong fighter, and he stunned Pacquiao on a couple occasions in the first fight. I think it'd be more likely a Pacquiao stoppage of Marquez, but Marquez has the goods to stop him. I don't think he will. I think he'll win a decision, but I do think he can hurt Pacquiao and will.
Okay, so recapping, so you're saying most likely outcome is Marquez by decision. Pacquiao, if it's going to be a stoppage, it's likely to come from Pacquiao.
Yes.
But you wouldn't be surprised that Marquez stops Manny.
I don't think he will, but I think he has the power to hurt Pacquiao, and I think he probably will.
Okay, but you say that Marquez will win the fight, though.
Yes.
Not a sure thing, but you're leaning that way.
Yeah, you can't be sure with a guy with the class of Manny Pacquiao.
Okay. Don't you think that Marquez, just briefly, Marquez has the edge that he's seen Manny and he's not going to be surprised like he was in the first fight?
If you're talking about a psychological edge, I think Pacquiao may have an equal psychological edge based on the first fight because of the fact that he knocked Marquez down 3 times in the first round and had him so close to a victory. He was so close to a victory in the first round that in some people's minds he has the psychological edge. But then again, Juan Manuel Marquez survived that and fought a great fight the second half of the fight.
Okay. On the undercard, Steve Lovano versus Turdsak Jandang. Who do you think's going to win? I know, Turdsak Jandang. I'll say it again.
Yes. Steve Luevano has a tough opponent in front of him. Juan Manuel Marquez could tell him all about that. He fought Jandang a couple years ago, and Luevano's not the most exciting fighter, but he's a pro. He's a solid, improving fighter.
Okay, so you say Steve will win that fight?
Yes.
Okay, Abner Moray, a guy you really like, faces Diaz Dabo Gabi, and you think Mares should win that one?
It's a good step up for Mares, but he's a very savvy fighter for his youth. He's very fun to watch. He's so mature in there. And under the guidance of Nacho Berestein, who's a great trainer, I think he's going to bring him to the top.
Okay, and this could be the fight that sends him towards a bigger fight towards the end of the year, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, a lightweight matchup on the pay-per-view card. David Diaz is facing a guy, Ramon Montano, who's 14-3, 0 by KO. Should Diaz lose this fight?
No, I don't. I can't see Diaz losing this fight. I can see him in a tough fight, though. Ramon Montano, despite the unimpressive record, he's a good, solid fighter. He's a good pro, and he's steadily improving. I don't think he's ready for this kind of opponent as of yet. But Diaz is no superstar, and he's by far not one of the best lightweights in the world right now. So it's no pushover, but I think he's far better than Montano.
Okay, thanks for talking to us, Alden. Remember to check out AldenBoxing.com and FightFan.com, and Chodash and AldenBoxing.com for more information. Bye-bye.